What's up guys, Acerthorn here, and right now I would like to announce a new series for this channel. You guys really seem to enjoy my in-depth story analysis and lore discussion videos, so I've decided to branch out a little bit and start doing story analysis for a totally different thing than gaming. There are surprisingly few series on YouTube that provide in-depth story analysis and dissection of the Harry Potter books, which is kind of astonishing, so I figured I'd swoop in and fill that demand. Now, I should warn you that this series will have no fixed schedule. If you aren't interested in the rest of my channel's content and don't want to turn on notifications for this entire channel, then I recommend you save this playlist and check it periodically to see if any new episodes are out, because I cannot say when the next episode will be. What I can say is that the first main episode of this series, not counting this introduction, will be going up at the same time as this introduction. So newcomers to my channel can get their first taste of what this series will entail, so they can decide if they want to stick around for the rest of the series. Now, I want to get this elephant in the room out of the way on this introduction video, so that nobody will complain about it later. This entire series will be very heavy on the spoilers, and not just in that I will discuss the story and reveal the ending to each book. That should go without saying if I'm going to do a retrospective analysis of the series. But in addition to that, even as I am discussing the earliest parts of the series, I will be referencing things that first-time readers wouldn't know about by that point in the series, including, but not limited to, the fact that Harry is an unintentional Horcrux. For that matter, the fact that Voldemort even has Horcruxes at all, Severus Snape's love for Lily Evans, later named Lily Potter, how the Fidelius charm works, and so on and so forth. Even as early as the first chapter of the first book, I will expect my audience for this series to already be familiar with these things. So if you haven't read the books yet, I highly recommend that you turn away from this retrospective series right now. You have been warned. So, now that we've gotten that out of the way, how exactly will this series work? What format will it adhere to? Well, for starters, this will primarily be a retrospective on the books, not the movies. That's not to say that I won't reference the movies from time to time, but the books are hands down superior to the movies in my humble opinion, except in a few select areas, and therefore I consider them to be the definitive version of this franchise. It isn't just because I'm a stickler for things being in their original format. After all, I prefer the cartoon version of Dragon Ball, and the Funimation dub of that cartoon at that, over the manga version of the story, despite the latter being the original version of the story. But in this specific instance, I prefer the books to the movies, which just happens to be the original format, but that's not a factor in my opinion. I will be reviewing one chapter at a time. I want to make this retrospective as in-depth as I possibly can, and that means making enough discussion with each chapter to fill an entire video's worth of content. I will start each episode by giving a plot synopsis of that chapter's events, and then analyze the story for that chapter, analyze each character's growth, and mention any foreshadowing or development of main themes that I notice. When I finish each book, I will include a separate video where I provide a story analysis of the book as a whole. After the first book, however, the end-of-book analysis will encompass the entire story up to that point. So the end-of-book analysis for Chamber of Secrets will include callbacks to the plot of Sorcerer's/Philosopher's Stone. Prisoner of Azkaban will include callbacks to the first two books, and so on and so forth. This means that my end-of-book analysis for Deathly Hallows will be a complete retrospective for the entire series, and therefore will likely be the longest video in the entire series. This, of course, means that the various discussions that you would normally expect to come at the beginning of a retrospective, such as the title of the book and a review of the book's cover art, will actually come at the end. So, now that I've gotten everyone all nice and caught up, stick around for the first episode of the series. See ya there!